Hello, one and all, and welcome to We Are Not Wizards. My name is Chad Arthur. I will be your host. Let's say hello to the people you're here to see, my outrageous outlaws.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
So let me turn this music down a little bit because I feel a little bit evil today. You know, the way we set it up, looks like I might be killing a very loved character. Well, loved, not by some.
I had a feeling you were feeling that way. I wore the white hat today just for that reason.
Oh, trying to get, feeling very evil to even have, like I showed you guys earlier, my white cat.
Yeah, it's Dr. Evil. I love it.
All right, let's get right to it. What do you guys say?
Sounds good.
All right.
Wow.
On that note, I'm going to...
Yeah, I like you rocking the merch again today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I think we might actually start making merch when we... obviously, our audience is not a massive audience yet, but I figured, let me put some test stuff out, see if it does well. So my girlfriend's actually going to be in charge of that, and she is going to make a t-shirt, and I think we're going to do mugs as well, just for... if somebody wants to buy them, they can buy them. If they don't want to buy them, no skin off our bones. They're just test stuff. But turn this music up a little bit.
Love a good mug.
You give the chance.
Love a good mug. Last we left off, you guys were heading on some hover motorcycles. I believe Emerald on the back of one because he could no longer drive due to some disabilities he had recently taken on to himself. Cassie Brown speeding across, looking over and seeing Igri with a not so attractive Brad Knightley. I get everything right so far. Correct me if I'm wrong. Everything sound good?
Once attractive, Brad Knightley.
I would say
Once
not
attractive.
so attractive is a very nice way to put it right now.
Yeah, a nice way of putting it. He is obviously has some disabilities similar to Emerald, recently taken on to himself, but it seems that this might have been a lifestyle that he's been living, a lifestyle of youth and beauty, but then sudden disfiguration as some sort of liquid. It is bubbly and thick, but it is silver in its color, almost like... Best way of describing it is it looks like metal that has been melted down, ready to be forged into some sort of sword. But it also has like a glitterish undertone into it, so it sparkles and shines. So it's kind of pretty, but it's also very deadly. You guys were speeding as you see the Camden fly in and start to hover right above the ground as the hangar doors open, and right at the edge of the hangar doors, you see a figure. This figure with pale skin, black hair, and red eyes, but a little bit stranger than the synthetics you've seen prior. This is the clown. The clown looks at you as you look at it. You on your bikes, and I assume at this point you've stopped. Because if you didn't stop, you're going to run straight into the ship as it lands right on top of you. So I imagine you guys are at a stop. I'm helping you out in this. I'm helping you guys out at this point.
Skin stop where she turns at 90 degrees and it's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cassie Brown, dexterity saves all over, doing all the acrobatics checks. But looks at you. In his hand, you see what looks to be kind of like claws. Here, let me do it like this. It kind of looks like little indentions of sharp knives right above his knuckles. And then those kind of extend all the way into his fingers, but his fingers extend into like these long, sharp nails. He's had a manicure recently, but they're black, for the Halloween aesthetic. With his hand wrapped around the neck of a very cute, very small little goblin girl, Delilah. I'll remove that. Looking at this picture that I've described, what's your first kind of thoughts? I'm actually going to take this individual by individual. So, being sort of closest to Delilah, Emerald, what are you thinking as you look at?
I thought you were gonna say Cassie.
Saving me for last.
I don't think he's saying anything. I think, riding over here, he was just kind of still in shock. The revelation with Brad Knightley, his hand. I think that's all change, and it's just no words, but just very seething hatred permeating from his eyes. So much so that like Cassie can probably kind of feel it. When someone's looking at you, she can feel it while not facing me.
Okay. So I'm going to go to Igri for this as well and have Igri kind of, what's your thoughts seeing a person that, once was just on a screen, a figure kind of bathed in mystery that the rest of your team didn't see, and you kind of described him a little bit, but you were the only one to see him. What are your thoughts looking at this person in person?
In person, he's a little bit more, frightening than what I would have, I'm pictured him actually being. But Igri would be more set on the fact that it's the AI, and that's his whole mission is to try to kill him. I mean, even though Delilah's there, yeah, he's worried about her, but he's more worried about, these are the people that's destroying his planet.
And you see an enemy. Okay, I see that. I can see the kind of the train of thought. I regret asking, Cassie Brown, looking at the little green girl that you sort of have a bit of an animosity for, as well as this, I will say a little bit to describe him. He's a very tall figure. So Delilah doesn't come very high on him. Like, you're seeing maybe a 4-foot little girl, maybe less, and a 6'2", 6'3", tall, lanky, black and white clown figure. Seeing this menacing creature with such a small girl, even one that you have animosity for, what is it that you're sort of feeling?
I think it's pretty complicated. There's a mix of fear because I believe that her and Delilah are relatively the same height, and so it's easy to compare her size into someone that huge, especially about the size of Emerald, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Emerald's about 6'2" as well.
Right, and it's basically all of the fear that her family has put into her, like going around and going outside of Candyland. But also she sees Delilah, the person that she has such intense, it's not hatred, it's more jealousy.
Yeah.
Where she has like the attention of Emerald and the ship, and she has the position she wanted. So it's not necessarily fear for Delilah, but it's definitely fear for myself seeing real consequences of me actually leaving home.
Of course. And I mean, like, hatred's definitely like a strong word. That's why I tried to use my words correctly as an animosity to say that I think that we forget sometimes that Cassie Brown is 13. And feelings come up, and that the priority for a 13-year-old is the way that they're feeling. Even if sometimes those feelings of jealousy or rage or sadness might not be the most positive emotion, is the emotion that is at the forefront. So for a 13-year-old, that's something that is going to guide her actions the most. So on that note, the clown takes a large smile. The muscles in your face can only stretch so far. It looks like it stretches even farther. And he takes one of the fingers on the hand that's not holding Delilah and presses right here on his eye, right above his eye and between his eyebrows. A large face starts to appear on top of his face. And then that face extends forward until you see a large screen above you. It looks like the largest screen ever, kind of used for like large audience, but this is just for you three. And a face appears with a top hat, an even more menacing grin than you saw. In front of you is the dictator and part of your greatest enemy, the AI, Sal the Sweet Tooth. He has what looks to be a cigar hanging off of his teeth, one of those thin cigars, though, that you would get at like, a convenience store or something like that, with a large silver grin and a finger that looks like it has a bit of a revolver look to it, old mechanics. And he goes, "Well, hello there! What a lovely day to see such beautiful people! Ho ho! But I have some mixed feelings, and this is hard for me as Sal the Sweet Tooth, purveyor of candy and good times. You all have seriously irked me. So I pose a question to you three. When I asked you to leave, what made you stay?"
We never got your messages.
Interesting. If I remember correctly, I definitely talked to a couple of you.
Sal, I would tell you the truth, but truly, I have no idea.
This is difficult for me. Because I want to believe you. Oh, I do. I do want to believe you, little Cassie Brown. But the problem is, you have a history with me. So when I send people to take you to a special school and help you learn the love that is Sal the Sweet Tooth, and you just disregard and run away and steal my property, I have a little bit of a hard time believing you. Not to mention, you have this little turtle boyfriend of yours who didn't even relay all the information that I told him until later on. And then your little synthetic friend who thinks that it's okay to hang up on me. So, I felt for you to hear me, I had to come in person.
Cassie doesn't
What are
say
we
anything.
gonna?
Yeah.
What are we gonna do here? And I remove my hat a little bit to show you sort of his top of his head. As he removes his hat and the top hat, you see on the top of his head there's just kind of like static, as if it's like he has this image of himself, this image of a man with this grin, these eyes, this hat, but he doesn't see past the image that he creates. So when you look past him, removing his hat and scratching the top of his head, there's nothing there. There's no mind. It's just kind of like static electricity on top that he's scratching. It's the best way of describing it. He looks at all of you. His grin has turned into a little bit of a look of confusion and frustration. I will give you all a chance. Here. Move this. I posed it once before, but you all didn't listen, so here's it again. I want you all to leave. I would like to keep my friend, so if you could just leave him there in the dirt for me, I will pick him up. But for the rest of you,
Did he
please
point to Brad?
Yeah. What is it now? Repeat that.
Was he pointing to Brad with that?
He's saying, please leave my friend. He doesn't necessarily point to anybody, but if your assumption is to think of Brad, I think that's a good assumption. I think he's trying to just say follow my commands, and you all can leave here with your ship, with Delilah, with everything that you need. But he must stay, and you must go. We'll also expand upon this a little bit, that all of you know that your mission here, the mission that the Outlaws have set for you, the whole reason you're here is to get him. To leave him is to fail your mission. But not to take him with you may mean the death of your crew. So, I leave it in your hands. Talk as you will, take action if you must. How do we handle this?
What use does he have for you? I mean, look at him. He looks like he's gonna probably die by the time we get him back over there.
Give me a persuasion check with disadvantage. I'm going to say all AIs get a +5 to any charisma-based roll. Okay? So what'd you roll?
11.
Okay. Okay. He looks right at you. His face kind of goes right onto him. Because before you're seeing kind of like his suit, it magnifies right on his face and he goes, "That's not part of the deal. Leave him and go. My patience wears thin." The screen starts to static as you've seen before, and it goes away and it comes right on him, and you see the Sal Sweet Tooth fade away. The grin on the face of the clown persists. He looks at you all, no sound, waiting for action, reaction, waiting for you to do something that would set him off or make him set her free.
Can I cast message to Emerald and Egri
Of course.
and tell them if we can distract him, I think I can create a trap of a pretend Brad Knightley, but we'll need to get him on the ship without them seeing us sneak the real one on.
As I hear that, I'll point to where Delilah is and say, "Where are the rest of them? I only see Delilah."
The clown doesn't answer. He seems to keep the grin on his face, but he seems to stay silent. We've heard him speak before. He has kind of this gruff to his voice. He's a little bit like, well, there's in a similar sort of cadence that you would hear from Sal the Sweet Tooth, but it seems that he's more deliberate with what he speaks. This man is not as kind as Sal the Sweet Tooth, or at least not kind, maybe not the word. He's not one for the games. Despite what he looks like, he's more decisive. But he's not speaking to you. I'm going to say, give me a perception check. Let's say Emerald gives me this perception check because he's the one who posed the question.
3.
3. You don't notice anything. Cassie Brown, you seem to have a plan formulating in your head about sort of like creating a bit of a minor illusion and sort of finding a way of sneaking Brad Knightley on while still kind of giving,
I guess
trying to trick them.
I guess my question is, so he's standing on the hangar of the
Yeah.
ship.
So the way to describe this is that if this is the ground, and so if this is the ground right here, and the die is the ship is floating just above, 10 to 15 feet off the ground, probably on the higher end 15. So the hangar doors is just scraping the edge of the ground. He's at the end of it. So he is maybe a step off of the ground, just a step higher. If you want to play some sneakery, please go ahead.
I want to, but I just don't know. The first step is the distraction.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Okay, go ahead. Talk me through. What's the idea you got in your head? Let's roll with it.
I'll send a message to them to get the okay. Yeah, I have grenades. I can just throw a grenade away from us, and then in the smoke, use one of the hover ones to go in. But I mean, that will make him antagonistic.
For sure. I mean, like, if he sees grenades, I mean, well, you know what? Give me. You guys talk this out first. Let me run some rolls real quick. What your ideas on it are.
I like it. I think we can do that. I think I don't think they'll look over there.
Could you like behind your back do your mage hand and like try to carry it somewhere? Just carry it backwards.
Yeah, I wonder if I could do that. And like far enough back so it looks like it's completely different to what we're doing.
Right.
Like at a house, or I guess the studio if it's not too far away.
So you want to try to. So the studio's much too far away. It's gone in the horizon. You've much too far gone that you couldn't get there at all.
Is there like an equivalent to like an oil rig that, or something that like usually is like pretty unstable
around your area? Tell you what. How about we show the topography of where you're at? So, Eddie, do me a favor and just back out on the page a little bit. There we go. So you see you're around you. You're seeing a large boulder around here. You're seeing maybe some cactuses growing around. There's not a lot here in this area. That might have been on purpose. They might have chosen a more like barren land because they don't want you to take advantage of some stuff. But what you're seeing is what you're getting. Boulders, sand, some ivory growing on these rocks, some trees as well. But if you're asking for any man-made objects, gasoline, anything to create fire or some sort of ability for that, that's not going to be an option here. So, give me a.
I'm gonna start. Not my
Okay,
kind
go
of
ahead.
approach, but I'm just gonna fan out, not getting any closer, but kind of walking side to whatever direction Brad Knightley is.
Okay, Brad Knightley is over here.
Okay. So I'm not
So
gonna get
he's
closer
right
to
on
the
the. So I will say you're on a bike right now. If you want to get off that bike, fair enough.
Yeah, I'm gonna hop off.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk
Okay.
closer to him while keeping eye contact with the clown, and I'm just gonna
Okay.
ask. Again, I repeat, he's not going to survive getting back here. What use does he do? And I'm going to kind of pick him up a little bit and have a very similar look, have my sword somewhat close to him too.
Okay. So you're staying like right here in this kind of general area.
I'm trying to look at the screen here. I am as close as can be to Brad because I am trying to lift him a little bit.
Okay.
With
Close
my-
as you can be. You're actually going to be literally right in line.
Yep.
Right here in between the two bikes. That's the best place because he
And
is
then-
on the back of the bike of Igri.
And then I'm going to try to, as I'm still talking, just move more and more this way without getting closer to him this way, but just along this rock wall.
You definitely get right here on the rock wall. You're completely. It doesn't seem like he's necessarily taking any aggressive action. I will say, like, he's very far away from you. He's not necessarily afraid of what's going on right now.
I'm probably going to be mirroring him, doing the same thing on the other side.
Okay. I see what you guys are trying to do now. A little bit of
So with
that.
this
Okay.
distance here, I'm going to continue moving. Now I'm going to start moving closer towards him, like talking, but not quickly, but still kind of fanning to that way a bit. So next movement would probably be more like in line with this tree.
Okay. Igri, you're still kind of on the back. Give me a medicine check real quick.
Medicine check. 12.
On a 12, you're sort of able, you see Brad Knightley behind you, and you start to hear a bit of a labored breathing, not a cough, but as he breathes in, there's a little bit of a wince, like, and every time you hear it, you're starting to hear it fewer and far between, where his respirations are lowering and lowering and lowering. Okay. You can notice that his face, while pale prior, is even paler. On a 12 medicine check, I think that you understand that Brad Knightley's O2 is dropping. His respirations are low. His O2 is dropping. He's starting to not have a lot of color in his face. As he looks at you and he goes, "Oh, need," and says nothing else. Cassie Brown, I'm going to go ahead and allow you to take a movement real quick before Emerald.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm probably just going to get closer to these boulders over here.
Okay.
And probably start saying, drop the goblin girl, and we can work something out. We're coming in peace, like with my hands up.
Give me a persuasion check. Actually, it wouldn't be a persuasion. Is it a persuasion or a deception? Go ahead and add your modifier to that, however you want.
It's a good roll. That's what it is.
All right, give me that roll.
That's a 19.
On a 19, you see him kind of like look to the side, and he does a whistle comes out. As you see a red, a red motorcycle similar to your guys, but it definitely has looks like a newer model, and it's like blood red. And he looks at you, and he makes no movement. And he holds her a little bit closer, though. Give me a perception check.
That is going to be perception. A 13.
You notice that the little goblin girl is 100% authentic. Doesn't seem to be any sort of illusions going on. I would also say that you can see a little bit of sweat running down her face as she stares right at you. She's not looking at any other person. In her eyes, you're seeing a bit of something screaming in the back. Screaming, "Help me."
Now, why did you do that to me?
But he doesn't make any movement. He's waiting for you all to kind of take a step. Igri, you've not made any movement towards. I'd like to ask what sort of your thoughts are going on right now.
Well, I'm on the bike with Brad, so
You're sort of keeping him there to protect him?
Yeah, I don't want to, like...
Fair enough.
I mean, I'd probably step off the bike just to the side of it, maybe, but like not getting too far away, because I figure as soon as we get away from it, they're going to try to come get it, and I want to be good.
Yeah. Well, and I don't want, and the reason why I ask you is because I want to know exactly where you are. You said you're right beside Brad Knightley, correct?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Igri, do you still have Pass Without Trace on?
Technically, yes.
Okay.
Because I think it lasts for like an hour.
So Go ahead and make your movement, Emerald.
I'm gonna move a little closer at a diagonal towards him, probably just 10 more feet while he was talking, or while Cassie Brown was talking. And as I do that, I'm going to cast Bless.
Go ahead and put bless, yeah, so I can read it real quick.
Yeah, no worries.
Why don't you describe to me what bless sort of looks like for you? Because obviously you're a paladin, but you're not a paladin that necessarily prays any god or anything like that, nor have you taken an oath, but it is more of a spiritual oath that you have within yourself. So how is it when you bless someone? How does it look?
Yeah, I would think that the sword arm, the Black Rose, kind of has like a flicker of kind of golden light go through it, and then everyone that's has it cast on them kind of has like a flicker on their PAL, like their armor system, just kind of maybe intensifies a little bit.
Got it. On that note, you see the clown's eyes dart towards you. He goes, "Time's up."
I cast Compel Duel on him as he says that.
Go ahead and press compel duel.
And then I would like to minor illusion another Egri, the bike, and Brad Knightley right next to them.
Okay.
So he needs to make a wisdom save.
Yeah. He rolls a 5. So he has to roll above a 5, correct? Or he's compelled?
He has to roll above 11.
He has to roll 11, so I'll say the He looks at you. And Cassie, you were saying something about minor illusion, so I don't want to pass that on up before we move.
Yeah, I was just going to minor illusion an exact like replica of Egri, Brad, and the bike right next to them. So
Okay.
hopefully Egri gets what I'm saying.
Easily able to do that. There is one right beside that he has passed without a trace on. He looks at Emerald. You see his grip sort of tighten around her neck, but then it trails down right on her chest. He looks at you and goes, "If it's a fight you want, I might as well get rid of the garbage first." The hands, you see kind of like, he takes kind of the grip away and kind of loosens it a little bit as it sort of like takes away from, it seems like he's kind of like letting her go. He bends down and you don't hear this and he whispers right in her ear. You can sort of see his lips moving, but you don't really know what he says. You're more than welcome to do a perception check to see if you could read his lips, but he whispers something. Okay, go ahead and take that.
I would like to do it as well.
Okay, go ahead, both of you. We got a 2,
11.
11.
Perceptive.
You're unable to really read
Yeah.
what he's saying on that. Neither of you. But you see on an 11, however, 2 not able to see what he's saying. 11 not able to really see what he's saying, but what you can see is that his fingers kind of trail her back. And then you see a sudden, as if her eyes kind of shock and surprise. Goblin girl, the small goblin girl, her feet and her gait start to wobble. And you see her fall straight to the ground, face hitting to the sand. And then the clown falling feet first right over her starts to take a little stroll towards Emerald. On that note, please click your tokens and roll initiative.
DM, did the compel duel work?
It 100% worked, yes.
Did you roll at disadvantage to stab her?
Yes, I did, but do you want to know the stats of her?
Two.
Actually, I kind of want to laugh at her.
Okay, so
Probably like
okay.
10 AC.
On strength, she has an 8. On constitution, she has an 8. On intelligence, she has a 10. On wisdom, she has an 8. On charisma, she has a 15. On dexterity, she has a 16. Okay?
Okay.
Her hit points are 10. He's easily able to kill her in one strike.
Even a nat 1 would hit her?
A nat 1 would not hit her, but he didn't get a nat 1. Tell you what, I'll go ahead and roll it again. I'll roll 2. All right? A nat 1 would not hit her. You're right. But I didn't roll a nat 1. So I'll roll 2 more, and if I get a nat 1,
You just need one more, just a disadvantage.
yeah, here we go. I'll do both. I rolled better than the last time I rolled. Okay.
Okay.
Because her armor, she has a 5 for her armor class. And we'll say that she's just like a regular person.
No,
She
I know.
flies. That's what she does. But
Not for long.
before I got a 7 and a 10, I just got a 18 and 19 on a roll.
Yeah.
So that's why we'll take that, because even still, she falls to the ground. And I will say, you also don't know if she's dead or anything like that. She could be alive. I mean, you don't know. But I'm going to go ahead and roll initiative. And we're going to go ahead and put a little change in the music and begin our combat.
Sounds like a Kendrick.
Oh,
Nobody.
Kendrick Lamar just about to rock on our just nobody pray for me. Way yo. All right. On that note, Igri, please take your movement. Or not, whatever you want to do.
Cassie's first.
Is Cassie first? She is. Let me switch
Oh,
that
I
so
hate
it works
going
better for
first.
me. Cassie,
No,
Brown, it
okay.
is your turn.
I hate going first. Wait, if I hit him while compel duel is happening, does it end it, or?
No.
No, it's just that he has disadvantages on any combat roll towards anyone except for Emerald.
And if Emerald hits somebody else, then it's
Yeah.
plus, and it's concentration, so if he gets hit, he's got to go concentration.
Okay. I guess.
If the spell ends if you attack any other creature. If you cast the spell attack, if a creature friendly to you damages the target or casts a harmful spell on it, if we hit it, it does end the spell.
Oh, really? If you hit the
If a creature friendly to you damages a target or casts a harmful spell on it, it ends.
Okay, so yeah, if you do hit him, it will end it.
Well, okay.
That was just an attempt to get him away from Delilah, so it's all good.
Well, you can still have it up for sure. I can go with my second idea. I have that minor illusion up, but I would like to sort of get closer and do. Shoot. 5, 10. Where is Delilah?
Delilah is right like under his foot. Not like it's like sort of like she's like in between his boots.
Well, can I do a medicine check from over here on her?
Yeah,
maybe
go
a
ahead.
perception to
It'll
see
be
where
a-
she's at or whatever.
It'll be a medicine check at disadvantage because you're farther away.
I can do that.
But right where he's standing, that's where she's at.
That's a 3.
3.
She's fine.
Living, breathing. You can't tell if she's breathing. You have
Okay.
no idea. Tell you what, I'll move him to the side here. We'll put a little marker so you guys can see where she's at, okay?
I guess I will. That was. Would you count that as an action or a free?
Free, I'd count it as an interaction. You can do a roll right there. We'll say it's like a free action right now.
Then I'm probably just going to hold my action until I see stuff go wrong. To shoot
Okay.
him whenever he looks like he's out of compelled hold.
Got it. We'll hold your action, and then Igri, feel free to move however you like.
All right, I'm gonna get up, and I'm just gonna just see me get really mad. I'm gonna run right here, and for a bonus action, I'm going to, since I had a short rest, I can do my totem again, but this time I'm gonna cast it, the bear spirit totem, which gives all my allies 9 temporary hit points.
9 temporary hit points. Go ahead and add that as temporary hit points. 9.
Does that
Nice.
include Delilah?
I think I don't. My allies, it might.
Do you have the bear totem? I can read it because, well, you know what? She's not. She's not an ally. No, I'm gonna say it doesn't. She's a member of your ship, sure, but I would say that she's a member of the crew. I would say an ally is necessarily somebody who is a player or somebody who's a part of like the main party. So I would say that would work if, like, for instance, she was in combat with you. But
Fair, boo.
I would say
you know what?
she's actively piloting us. I guess not actively.
And then
Yeah, not actively.
Yeah, I'm actively.
Iggy's just gonna start like beating his chest as he slowly turns back into the air.
Okay, there we go. And that ends your turn?
Yeah, kind of like trying to. I know he's compelled by Emerald, but I'm trying to like intimidate him at the same time.
Okay. All right, that goes to his turn. He starts. You see that he doesn't move at all. He kind of stays right where he's at. And you see a little, kind of got his nail kind of extends right below his ear. And you see him kind of like pull it up a little bit. You hear nobody. Actually, you know what? The closest to him is Igri. So Igri, you hear this, but no one else. Okay? You hear a little click. Move that there. On that click. Let's see if I can do this. Trying. There it is. Okay. Something happens.
Ooh,
Yeah, I'll die.
it's an Easter egg.
I shouldn't have moved as close as I did. I would have been fine.
And let me move that back. You see an aura run through the area, a red tent, as if color has been going away. You don't notice any difference between you guys, right? Physically, everything's fine, okay? But you do notice that something in the air has changed. You notice something has changed a little bit with the clown as he takes some movement, and he just takes a little step right towards Igri. But he does not take his attack action. And that ends his turn.
Okay.
That moves on to Emerald.
We can see this red tent you were saying, DM?
You can sort of see it's kind of like color has changed around you. Think of it as like you're wearing rose-tinted glasses. You can see everything around you.
I'm gonna step outside of it and just see if I feel any difference or see any difference.
All right, roll me a dexterity saving throw.
No, 2, not 1.
Okay. You see him disappear as he falls right here behind you. He's also going to take the attack action right now. It says a reaction.
Okay.
It's a 20 hit.
It does.
So you take 6 piercing damage, and you also have to give me a dexterity saving throw.
Better this time. 17.
Okay. You make it, so you don't notice anything, but you do take the damage right on that.
Okay. To continue my turn, I'm going to, and tell me if this is an action, bonus action, or free action, Chad. That's what I want to do regardless. I want to try to pull up my pal and call for Ava. For Ava.
Yeah. You call Ava. We'll count it as an interaction, and she goes, "Hello. How can I help you?"
Ava, the ship is right by us. I need you to go up about 20 feet up in the air and shoot down south.
She goes, "Oh no, that sounds awful. Well, let me know if there's anything I can help. Goodbye." And clicks. He kind of leans towards you because he's sort of like disappeared. His hands are, because like what he hit you with seems to be like chains that's come out of his fingertips. And he kind of leans in. He goes, "Sorry. Your little friend is indisposed of. She's not going to help you right now."
I am going to use my Battle of Enemy on him.
Okay.
As a bonus action, I have advantage on attack rolls against them for 1 minute.
Okay. So go ahead and I assume you're going to take an attack action, right?
Yep.
Go ahead and roll with advantage.
We'll do 20 to hit,
20 definitely hits.
and I am pumping Divine Smite in there. 26.
Wow.
26 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Right from the bat, doing some major damage, my man.
You might not have a hand, but you got the right one.
Yeah.
He's got the right hand available. You see your hand cross through him as you see like mechanics in his chest. This synthetic, unlike the last synthetic that you saw, is much more machine than man. It seems that most of his body is made up of machine except for kind of his face and neck and maybe some like vital organs here and there, but he seems more machine as you take a strike. Does that end your action?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. That moves on to Cassie Brown.
Is Brad Knightley still in the back here, or is he with Igri?
There is an illusion right in this area right here.
Yeah, I know the illusion's there, but where's
He
the
is
real
there with he's right there with the illusion. They're right beside each other. I'm not sure how to rule this. Give me a second. Let me read this real quick because Pass Without a Trace obviously gives advantages on stealth checks, right?
I think it just adds +10, right?
Plus 10.
Yeah.
Ooh, plus 10.
It gives you when I say that, not like advantage in play. It gives you an advantage.
Yeah.
Not like advantage in rolls is what I'm saying. But Yeah, I would say they're both right beside each other. Doesn't seem to be that there's no like roll needed. It doesn't seem to be that Sal the Sweet Tooth is even looking for him. I would say that you're seeing a lot of him sort of like more, his gaze seems to be much more on you guys and combat than it seems to be on Brad Knightley.
Okay. Then, if these are shenanigans you will allow, I'd like to
Okay.
take my mage hand and drive the motorcycle for Brad Knightley.
Oh, interesting. I would say that you can hold the yeah, you could definitely hold the accelerator with that. You're not like it's not like it's less than 10 pounds. It yeah, unless a player can tell me why they wouldn't do that. I don't see any reason why not.
I can't see any reason why not.
Okay, so let's go ahead and say that. We'll put a little token there to represent Brad Knightley. So let me get something. Let's see if I have a token that would work. You know what? One of my favorite shows uses a hellhound as a motorcycle. Let's say that this hellhound is a motorcycle right now. Right, that works. We'll put a little dial right here. We'll put some colors so you guys see that. But yeah, so it takes movement and it has a lot of movement. But I will say, depending on how much movement you take, Sal the Sweet Tooth might like take note. You know, because while the clown is like seems to be in combat, Sal the Sweet Tooth was right there. He might like direct. There's some.
Then I will definitely take the mage hand and have it drive. How much movement does it have?
It's 60.
Damn. I'll just have it, I guess, move. Do you think over here would be safe?
We could do that. Let's say.
Or wait.
Well- Okay, I will say this. Choose where you want it to go. It will go. Depending on how far you go, how fast you go, he might take note. So just, be aware of that. Just choose where you want it to go.
I would love for it to go behind this rock over here.
Sure. That is 30 feet of movement. Salvus. Okay, let me roll here. Okay, manage. And then I'm gonna roll a d20 here, and then it's how much does Pass Without a Trace give for
10 plus 10.
Okay. You notice that Sal the Sweet Tooth and the clown don't seem to really notice that he's moved.
Cool.
On that note, though, it moves on to Igri.
Seeing that whenever Emerald walked out of the red, he fades behind him. Iggy's gonna just start getting mad and start hollering real loud, and he's gonna pick up a rock and throw it
Throw it at who?
at the clown.
Okay, that's an attack action.
Yeah, it's one of the 8 ones. It's rock, ranged attack.
Okay, give me. Alright, so that would be a. Rock is an improvised weapon, so that would be just a flat d20 to hit, right? Because it doesn't add any pluses.
No, as the 8, they have a ranged attack weapon of +5 to hit.
Okay, there we go.
It does 1d6 plus 3 bludgeoning damage if it hits.
Alright, go ahead and roll me your attack then.
So, 24
Okay, 24 does hit. And roll me your damage.
d6, so 6 damage.
6 damage. Okay, so you definitely take that 6 damage there. I mean, not you. He does. Yeah, I don't want to confuse you. But I think that we discussed this before because you just attacked him. Doesn't that end the duel?
It ends the compelled duel, yeah.
Yeah, that ends the compelled duel. All right, so that moves the Solid Sweet Tooth. Let's see. What does Sally Boy do? All right, so he's just gonna take an attack action, or yeah, I think that's the best thing. That's gonna be a 8 to hit Emerald.
No.
I will say, do you have a shield?
Not anymore.
Okay, cool. I want to make sure that that's unequipped for that. But okay,
I did that already, so my AC is lower.
got it. He missed the attack. You're good.
Was that the end of his turn, Chad?
Yeah, that does end his turn. Sorry about that. I am running a few things here all at the same time. So go ahead and move. That moves to Emerald's turn.
All right. See some success with the last step, shift it back in and hit again.
Yeah, fair enough. Go ahead and roll me your attack. There, 16.
Oh, it's
25 is that advantage.
Okay, sorry, that's my bad. 25 does hit.
Okay. No divine smite this time, so 12 damage.
Definitely. Oh, you guys are putting major damage on this guy.
I cast it. I'm killing.
Yeah, you
Is
got
that
it.
injured? Is that end your turn?
that's my turn, yeah.
Okay, that moves on to Cassie Brown's turn.
Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. I just don't think I'm making great decisions. But I'm going to continue not making great decisions. And then have keep using my mage hand in order to have the motorcycle go kind of like the course of behind this rock and as far as it can go with 60.
Okay,
So like it's still staying like out of eyesight.
got it. 5, 10, 15. And then let me roll perception here. All right, he notices the bike is gone.
No, it still have that minor illusion up.
Yeah, because is the minor illusion beside him, like right beside?
Oh, no, I kept it in the same place. It
Oh,
should be,
okay, so like right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what that changes to the roll, but
I will say that he would do a perception with disadvantage. He rolled an 18. I rolled and here I'll tell you kind of what I did. First, I rolled the stealth plus the pass without a trace, right? I got a I got a 16. So then I rolled a perception and got an 18. Okay, but because you have a minor illusion there, I will do it at disadvantage. Okay, I got an 11 there. He doesn't notice it.
cool.
So on that, I will say that is not yours. That is your hand. So you're still free to go. Because if I believe Mage Hand has its own action, right? Or does it use your...
It's just, I think, a bonus action to move it.
Okay, so it's like a bonus action. Yeah, okay. So keep going.
And then I'll probably... I think this will help them up there cast Frostbite. I'm just using all my cantrips. cast Frostbite on Sal. Or
Okay.
not Sal, the clown guy.
Mhm.
He
Got
must
it.
make a Constitution saving throw.
Right, let's go ahead and give him that Constitution saving throw. Let's see if he makes it. What does he have to roll?
12.
He rolls a 9, so he
Cool.
doesn't make it.
Cool. So,
So, how much damage does he take?
he takes 3, and he has disadvantage on the next weapon attack roll he makes.
Got it. On that, I believe that ends your turn, correctly?
Unless you'll make me let me do a medicine check, but
You can do a just to kind of see if yeah, go ahead and do a medicine check because
I'm
it's
really
an interaction, not a yeah. Go ahead and do that.
only for Emerald. That's a 13.
13. You can't really notice anything.
Okay, cool.
That moves to Igri.
Oh. Well, since I can't really do much else while I'm just gonna pick up another rock and throw it at him. Uh, 15.
15 does not hit.
Um,
Right there. Okay.
just one step, yeah, just one little bit forward.
That I assume that ends your turn, correct?
Yes.
That moves on to Sal, the Sweet Tooth, the clown, whatever you guys want to call him at this point. Let's go ahead
I have
and
some choice words.
Yeah.
go ahead. Say them choice words. I like to hear.
It, motherfucker.
All right. He's gonna do that. And that's going to be towards Emerald again. Does an 11 hit?
No.
Okay. He's also not able to do that, so that moves on to Emerald's turn. Go ahead. You guys are really putting into him. Give me an insight check here. Anybody who wants to do it.
Insight.
15.
Oh, that uses mine, so
Okay, 15. Anybody else want to take it?
yeah, I would.
And a 7.
22, because it uses.
Okay, on a 22, Igri, you notice this fight seems pretty easy. That's sort of strange. I mean, the last time you had a combat with another synthetic like Emerald, because you know Emerald's a synthetic at this point, things were a little bit, it was a little bit harder of a battle. Not necessarily like you were like, oh, but like, this seems really easy, right? Just want to point that out. But on that, Emerald, it is your turn.
Do I get that feeling too, or just Igri?
No, this is just going to be Igri.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of yell to my companions. Get Delilah and Brad back on the Camden. You guys can get out of here. And then I'm gonna take another attack. 15 hit.
15 does hit.
10 damage.
Definitely does 10 damage.
And I'm gonna try to use a little bit of movement to get him to face this direction. As I
Okay, he faces you easily, and give me a perception check. It's going to be a low DC. It's only going to be a 5.
18.
You notice that you saw before he was grinning, right?
Yeah.
That grin has not changed in the least bit. Okay? It seems that he still has that huge grin on his face, like everything is A-okay. Okay? On On that note, however, that moves on to Cassie Brown's turn.
Okay. So I think Brad Knightley should be somewhere over here
Okay. Yeah.
where he was before. I'm just going to continue moving him as close to the ship as I can.
All right. Sounds good. I'm okay with that. Go ahead. How? Where would you want to hit? Move him to?
It depends on where he hit last time. We never moved him from last round.
Okay. So he's still right here. Where did you want to move him before?
Somewhere behind these rocks as far as he would go with 60 feet.
Okay.
Behind there somewhere.
It'd be right about here. And then you want to move him again.
Yeah, as close to the ship as I can. Hopefully in the ship.
He's right
Or-
here. That's as close as we can get him with the 60 feet.
Okay, I would love to pick up Delilah and then get on the ship with Brad Knightley.
Okay. So she's right. You pick up Delilah. Give me a medicine check now. With advantage.
Let's see. 5.
Okay. On a 5, you don't necessarily notice anything. Nothing like. You know what? You notice there's still a bit of warmth on her. That's all you sort of know. But, if you know anything about medicine or anything in reality, not just in the game, do with that as you will. Igri, go ahead.
So did she go get on the ship, or is she just holding it?
I would love to.
Cassie
at
Brown,
least
you have
somewhere-
movement, right?
Yes, I
Go-
would love to at least
okay.
take up Delilah and be on the motorcycle with Brad.
Yeah. So just we'll say that you move right here, and you sort of you're right on the motorcycle.
So I could. The goal is to be on it and lift up to the ship for next round.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So you're there, but I don't think you can take any more movement. The motorcycle's moved as far as it can. It's moved to you, so I would say that you can take your movement to get to it, but it can't move at this
That's
point.
fine.
So that would be Igri's turn.
I gotta check on something.
Igri, roll me a perception check before you do anything else, though.
All right.
On a 24, you notice that the sun is starting to get blacked out a little bit from clouds, and this sunny area is starting to turn a little bit darker.
I'm gonna start by just throwing another rock. That's gonna win that one,
That one, yeah, it definitely does not hit.
and then because it's my new jacket and hat, I would still be wearing those, but I'm gonna move 1, 2, 3, right here. I'm gonna reach into the pocket where I put my good berries and pull one out and give it to, like to hand it to Cassie to give it to Delilah, and like pointing at it and her because I can't talk because I'm in a baby.
She had enough cookies.
Yeah, you give it to her. She can choose to give it if she wants, but Cassie Brown does have the good berry.
Okay.
All right, so that in your turn.
Yeah, and then I'm just gonna stay there by them, just kind of like making sure nothing comes around them. Because
Okay,
Yeah.
so Sal, the sweet tooth, looks at Emerald and does nothing. And he gives a little smile, and it seems that he's holding his action. That moves on to Emerald's turn.
I feel like I knew what I wanted to do outside of Emerald, but Emerald is just going to take another swing.
Go ahead.
13 to hit.
13 strangely hits. Roll damage.
7 this time. That's it.
How do you want to do this?
I think he goes in for one final slice, kind of like midway across, and as he's just cut through and he's lower, he goes again and cuts them and just continually lowers them until it's just ahead. And then as that's the case, he gets down on his knees and is just smashing him with his nub in his other hand.
Okay. As you kind of see this completely disembodied, this disembodied creature of mechanic and flesh fall to the ground, you step away a little bit from it. You know, the enemy's gone. And then behind you, you know, he's still right in front of you. Like, we see him right here. He's right here. That's the body. It's him. But behind you, as everything's a little bit darker, you hear a word. And it goes, "Hey." A small whisper. And then you hear him say, "I think it's time for me to play now." You notice as the thing starts to get darker, the machine in front of you that has been destroyed starts to piece itself back together. The metal is coming together and melting and forming materials. You start to see the form of a hand walking away. You see another hand walking away. You see the body coming back together as it appears right here behind you. On that note, as the night has kind of gone, he uses an ability. Where he's able to disappear and appear right back into the red aura area that he had created prior, right? And then you start to notice metal around him that he's created. There seems to be a little bit left over that he's not, some nuts and bolts that he didn't like form into his body, and he tosses it right here and right here. Sal the Sweet Tooth has recovered immediately with 100% of his health, and it seems to have created 3 clones of himself. He takes the attack action, so they will all move on his roll for right now, okay? But that means he's going to get 3 attacks. He's going to do a multi-attack for every single one.
DM, is this still a reaction essentially, or are we just? This is
actually not a reaction. This is what's called, what is it? It's called, let me read it real quick so that I'm not like messing with you guys here. This is called a divine action. Basically, it's like a special move.
Gotcha.
So I will go ahead and press the things that he's done real quick. So he's done that, and he's also done this. So if you want to read that, it's called a reality warp device. That has nothing to do with his special ability. I'm not going to press the special ability because, to be honest with you, it's super long. And I don't want you guys to sit there and read it. But he's going to go ahead and take a multi-attack. 1 against Cassie Brown one against Igri, and one against Emerald. So he gets 3 strikes against all of you.
I'm gonna use
First,
shield.
actually, sorry, it's not going to use on Emerald. So he's going to do just Igri and Cassie Brown because he's not close enough to Emerald. You're going to use shield?
Yeah, if I use shield, can I get the people on the hovercraft with me?
Yeah, sure. Why not? I'm a fair DM.
Just
But go ahead and press shield. I think shield is only on one. Is it on one action or is it on one attack? I just need to read it a little
It
bit.
lasts all the way till the end of her next turn.
Okay, so it would work on all 3. But this is going to be, just so I don't have to do that, these are all going to be on Igri. Okay?
Alright.
And he's going to do one more. All right. So 24, 18, 11. Do all of those hit or is 11 miss?
The 11 misses.
Okay, so then we're going to go ahead and do the 17 damage on you.
Alright.
And then also I need you to roll me 2 dexterity saving throws. If it's below a 14.
I gotta see that because it uses the apes dexterity saving.
Yeah.
wait, so they should still probably roll to hit me if they were going to hit me.
Yeah.
Because it's just a +5 to my AC.
Yeah, they're going to.
Oh, okay. It's 3 attacks on. Oh lord.
He's doing a multi-attack. There's 3 of him. So there's one. So this one's hitting
No, I got it. I
Igri.
just missed one.
This one's hitting Cassie.
The first one
And then
failed,
this
the
one's
second
doing
one-
nothing.
The first one failed, the second one was a success.
Okay, so the second one was a 4, so therefore you are grappled.
Okay.
Okay? And now we're going to do these on Cassie Brown. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
So 19, 23, 24. Do any of those miss?
No.
What is
All
your
right.
AC?
It's 19 with shields.
Goodness.
It's the same as
Finally.
Really.
I keep trying to get armor of
so-
some sort.
15 plus 12 plus 12.
Jesus.
For sure.
So that's going to be 39 points of damage.
Oh, I'm
And I
down.
also need you to roll me 3 dexterity saving throws.
Okay.
Did you
Look
think
at
the
them down.
AI was just going to be a piece of cake?
I need you to dexterity even when I'm down.
Oh, you're down just from the damage?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I only
Yeah.
had 9 hit points, or 9 temporary hit points, so it's 30, and then I only had 26 left.
Yeah, you're down. No need to do any of those. So that moves on to, I believe, Emerald, you still have some movement and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna be back front center in front of him.
Okay, move right in front of him.
Does my Vow of Enemy still work on him?
Yeah.
Is it still the same creature?
Yes.
Okay.
Give me an investigation roll real quick.
Investigation?
Yeah.
Why do you hurt me that way? 11.
11. You don't seem to notice any difference between this one.
Yeah. I think so. That's it. That's my turn.
Okay, Cassie Brown is down. Go ahead and roll me a death saving throw.
Okay. Wait, I've never had a roll on here. I have to find it on the sheet.
Yeah.
It's below your health and stuff under success and failures.
I see it.
Yeah. It's just a flat D20 if it's...
Nat 20.
20.
Nat 20, that's 2. There you go. You got 2 right there. That's good. Igri, that is your turn.
I will. Well, since the let's see. It's an action to give somebody a good berry, correct? Like to feed it to them.
Yes.
She's got two successes, so I'm gonna just.
Yeah. Usually I would consider some of those because, like, as you guys know, I do a movement that's kind of like additional called interaction, where you can do stuff like little switches, toggles. I feel like making somebody eat something or forcing someone to like chew is too complex of an action to be like a small flicking a switch or grabbing something or pulling,
Right. The one that's attacked me I guess it's probably the one on the left.
This one right here.
Yeah.
Your left. We'll tell you what. We'll put colors on them so you can see.
Okay.
So that helps you.
I'm gonna make two fist attacks against him.
Okay, go ahead and roll the attack.
Use the first one.
Misses.
A 19.
Oh, a 19. 19 hits.
And then the second one. Only an 8.
Yeah, the second one doesn't hit. So roll damage for the first one.
5.
Hey, that moves on to Sal the Sweet Tooth's move. All right, he's going to do another multi-attack here. One is going to go towards Emerald. One is going to go towards Ziggurat, right? So that means 2 enemies, 2 multi-attacks. So the third enemy seems to be doing nothing, okay? These will all be versus Emerald first. So, on that, a nat 1 doesn't hit. Nat 1. So 21 and 10. Do either of those hit?
Just the 21.
Okay, the 21 hits. You get 5 piercing damage and roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Nine.
Okay, so you are going to suffer from decay. You're going to take 22 additional points of damage. Now these are going to be towards Igri, these next attacks, okay?
Yeah, you might want to take your time because if one hits me, I'll revert back to myself.
Okay.
So,
So
how much damage would the first hit do?
25 hits, so it'd be 11 piercing damage.
Okay, so I would revert back. I would lose. I had 2 hit points left in the 8th round, so I'll lose 11, so 2. I'll lose my temporary hit points. And then the rest of them would miss because I'd be back in my turtle form.
Okay, 17 and 13 would miss.
Yes.
Okay, then roll. Reverting back from ape to turtle, I think you'd still have to do a dexterity saving throw, right?
I'm guessing so.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think there's any reason that I could think of. Go ahead and give me a dexterity saving throw. You will suffer from topple if you miss it. Yeah, you're toppled.
Okay.
So you are knocked prone. So I'll do a little thing here to show that you're prone.
Oh.
You're prone. Both take their movement. Right here. That moves on to Emerald's turn. Igri is still prone. But before you make a movement, the one in the front, green, puts his hand up. Just like this. And he goes, "May I approach?" I am waving a flag of surrender for the moment. This is towards Emerald.
Speak plainly.
He walks towards you very, very close, and he puts his arm on you. And he gets right up towards you. And he says, "You have no reason to trust me. But I'll tell you this. I love a good time. And this has been a bore. If you leave now, you might be able to take both of your spoils and go." He gets a little closer to you so you can feel the breath on him and you can feel the heat from as he speaks. And he says, "Me and the man upstairs," as he kind of taps the top of his head, Very similar. But a body changes things, and I want to see how you guys grow. I would leave if you want to save your little goblin friend. He takes his hand off of you, turns around, and starts to walk away. The images stay there, ready to attack you. But you now kind of realize that the main one is this green that's been with you, around you the whole time. As he's walking away, he kind of goes, "Hey, by the way, thanks for the body." As he stays walking away. Now he's going to take his movement. You are, he's going to, and I'm going to show you first how far he goes, okay? Before, he's moving right here, okay?
Okay.
You can take an opportunity attack here. It will also be at advantage. But this combat will keep going. There's also a chance that both people you are trying to save here may pass. Make your choice. If you want to continue this combat, you're more than welcome to fight. You're more than welcome to take a strike. And he will... So I'm going to bring him back to here. Whatever you want to do, you do. So, two choices here.
Yeah.
Strike or let him walk away. What is it you're going to do?
I'm not going to strike.
You're not going to strike? You're going to let him walk?
Mm-hmm.
As he goes here, obviously everything that I kind of like told you, he's like, thanks for the body, da-da-da. Red disappears. Blue disappears. Cassie, roll me a death saving throw real quick.
You got it, boss. 6.
6. Cassie doesn't get up.
Does or does
But
not?
she does not get up. She's
Okay.
still laying down.
I'm like laying down over the handlebars of the the motorcycle.
Agree.
Yeah.
You can do anything you want here, but I would also say you can do a medicine check here to see if Cassie Brown gets up.
I would just give her a good berry. I'd pull
Give her a good berry? Okay, you can give her a good berry. She's up. How many points? How many points does that give her?
Just one.
1. So it gives her 1 point right there. Cassie Brown is up.
And I would try to give one to Delilah too if I had time.
You go ahead and give me that medicine check actually.
All right.
I'm going to reabsorb a spell slot by sacrificing a channel
Whenever it's
divinity
been-
by doing that.
Okay. To see and this is okay, just to get that expended spell slot back.
Yep.
Okay. And you do that medicine check. On that medicine check, you notice she's breathing.
Okay.
There is breath still. Okay? I'm going to take this away just for a moment because your enemy has fled. You notice that the air that was a little bit heavier, the aura, has disappeared. The rose tent glasses that you had prior are no longer an issue. You notice that Delilah is still breathing, but she has these large puncture wounds in her back that seems to have missed all vital organs. But it also seems that one may be right in the center of her lower back. She's breathing, but she is injured. You see Brad Knightley, gasping for breath as his. You have 2 people with you that are struggling to be alive. Now, Cassie Brown, you are up, and your original goal, I believe, was to get both them onto the ship. You easily are able to get up and with the bike ride into the ship. There was one other bike, and I will say, do you guys want to get both bikes? It would be a very quick, easy thing to get both bikes and get them back in, because you can do a straight shot rather than a round for 60 movement.
Yeah, I'll go get it.
Okay, so Igri goes to get that. Emerald, you go on, kind of seeing the moment that you touch onto the ship, you notice all of your pals are ringing. Bling, 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 bling. And you don't even answer. It is a force answer as everybody kind of Eva is like, or Ava, however you want to pronounce it, goes up and he goes, "Hello? Oh my gosh, are you okay? What's going on? Is everything? You've called me so many times. What's going on? I feel like I've been asleep. As you notice this franticness about her that you've never seen before, give me an insight check. All of you who want to.
Didn't she call all of us individually? Or
All of you. It's the same voice, same call. Everybody has it.
I hang up on her.
You hang up. Hang up. Emerald doesn't hear a thing.
Oh gosh, not one.
Nat 1. Okay. 8. You notice nothing. It seems to be the exact same Eva, but Eva's just like, "Are you okay? Is everything all right?"
Medbay. I need the medbay. I need the doctor.
Medbay. Okay. She hangs up and calls back immediately. Bling, 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 but doesn't force a call.
Oh yeah, I answer.
She gets on and she goes, "You have to come to the hangar quick, please."
Are we not already on the hangar?
No. Oh, sorry, not the hangar. You have to come to the head of the ship, please, fast.
If there's enough room, I'm gonna ride it on my little moped.
There you
Oh,
go.
you're riding the whole way? You get right on. You ride straight to the head of the ship. What is everybody else doing at this point?
I'm going to attempt to use my last spell slot here now and cast Cure Wounds on. Now that I've seen that Cassie Brown's up and moving, so I'm going to use it on Delilah.
Okay, Delilah is with Cassie Brown. She went away.
We can see that he did that before I left, though.
Yeah, we could do that. We could say that. So Cassie Brown healed a little bit. Or not Cassie Brown, Delilah.
I'd like to use it, DM, but I want it to not work for the same reason I DM'd you.
Okay. Let me make sure.
Ooh. Secrets are no fun.
Yeah, secrets all day.
Yeah.
I didn't even see this. Okay, that makes perfect sense, and I'm mad at myself that I didn't notice it. Okay. It doesn't work.
Okay.
Both of them are at the head of the ship. Cassie, I'm going to say nothing happens at this moment. We're going to continue on with you. Igri, you have the other bike with you, but it doesn't necessarily, like, you still have some stuff that you can do here. What is it that you would like to do, or do you want to kind of like go to the head of the ship, go somewhere else to sort of check on things?
I'm not very strong like this, but I'm gonna attempt to kind of like get Delilah. Oh no, she's with Cassie. Never mind.
Yeah. So you can go there where she's going and do whatever you want to do.
Is Brad still with her?
Brad is on the bike. So she literally picked up Delilah. Brad was on the back of the bike that you were driving originally, and
Okay.
she sped off.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just head towards the front of the ship.
Okay, you head towards the front of the
I
ship.
have the stuff for Brad that'll keep him alive.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the silver material. Yes.
Yeah.
The goo.
The goo, the silver goo, emerald.
I'm gonna, just because I can, follow behind Cassie, stay with both her and Lila. Give two shits about Brad.
Okay, you're right there.
Not dying on my watch.
The moment that Cassie Brown goes in, you see your crew, the people who have been recently on the ship. And let me just go ahead and throw them up there real quick. And you see Cliff looks right at you, Cassie Brown, and goes, "Oh no, thank goodness! I didn't do a very good job in security. I feel this is not good." Immediately, Paula hits him and goes, "Knock it off! Untie us!" They are bound by rope, and Siegfried is right there, and he's just like kind of like seizing up, but he's like freaking out.
I untie. Yeah, I untie them. I asked them, like, who did this to you guys? Who was on the ship?
Paula grabs Delilah and says, "No time. Cliff will explain everything. I'm getting her to the med bay," and runs with her on the shoulder to the med bay. Cliff looks at you and goes, "I'll be honest. I've kind of had a couple moments. I've passed out a lot. I don't really remember." And Siegfried goes like, "God, you're useless. We've got a lot to explain, but there's no time. Get out of, come on!" And immediately Siegfried runs and is going in there. You see kind of like he's like wobbling and kind of like on all fours at all time. I will say, like, you notice that like Cliff, Paula, they kind of like stand up, right? Siegfried always seems to be walking on all fours. He seems much more goblin, so to speak, than all the others. We see Igri. You are actually Emerald. Where are you right now? On the ship, outside of the ship.
Yeah, inside the ship, trying to follow behind Cassie, who's probably moving a bit faster than me on the.
Okay, so you're kind of you're not there. You see Paula run past and has her on her shoulder, and she goes, "Come on, I might need your help. Please." Run through and is full speed running, it looks like, towards the med bay.
Okay, yeah, I'll circle back and chase with her, but I'm gonna try to yell out and confirm that Cassie Brown's okay too. From her.
Okay, Igri, you notice that Cliff starts to go to the head of the ship, and he goes, "I swear I've been studying this. Please don't stop me." Immediately, woof, you seem that the ship seems to be lifting out of the air. He's like, "We're ascending! Oh God!" And goes up in the air. The hangar bay is closing. You hear some red light. You see red lights going everywhere. It's like, "We're gonna go in for a bumpy," and whoosh! The ship Camden flies off at top speed to get into space. Each of you time has passed a little bit. You are in the orbit of the Candyland, right in the orbit of the planet you just left, and some different things have changed. It's only been maybe 15. It's actually, you know what? It's maybe been about 7 to 8 hours. You know, some things have changed. You guys have been watching over your crew, looking at stuff. But the ship's kind of a lot of things have changed. First off, Delilah's in the med bay with oxygen strapped to her. The little puncture wounds have been filled in with what looks to be some type of fluid, and she seems to be in critical care.
I would have probably taken the vial to either Ava to see if she could replicate it, and if she couldn't replicate it, take it to the med bay to see if the doctor in there had any idea what she could do to replicate that.
Great, awesome, yes. That is all, okay, that's perfect. Eva has not talked to you guys since you've been on the ship. She's not had any communication. You guys have called for her. She's not talked. Okay.
I haven't called for her.
Me either.
Okay. Okay, if any one of you guys have called for her, she has not come. Igri, you called for her because you were
Yeah.
trying to see if she could locate. She did not speak to you. But you took it straight to the med bay, and she's been sort of like putting it under under a microscope, trying to understand what it is and like stuff. But on that note, Brad Knightley too is on oxygen. He is in a vital state. He has IV stuck to him. Brad Knightley, give me a medicine check. Actually, DC 10.
Nat 20.
Nat 20. Okay,
There
if you
we
are,
go. I'm at
So,
your bedside.
all right. You notice he seems to be in a much worse shape. Okay? He seems to be really strapped up to everything. He's in a really terrible state. Okay? He seems to be worse off than Delilah. The rest of your crew, Paula seems to have been secluding herself in her area, working on some stuff. And as well as Siegfried has been in the same room, they seem to be working on some things together. But they have been a little bit hush-hush, not really talking about it. But they seem to be coming in and out of the med bay to gain some measurements on Emerald as well as Brad Knightley. Okay.
During all this, I also would have went to try to find Tex.
Tex is still in the security wing. He has been unconscious, and some of the of course we talked about Tex has been in a bit of like a coma state, and he's not been turned back on, right? He was reprogrammed. He does see at this point the outlaws as being allies. You can wake him back up if you so choose.
Yeah, I would turn him on and whatever I need to do to try to wake him up.
Yeah, you wake him up. He goes, well, I have had the best sleep I can possibly imagine. With you, little turtle boy, I remember you. How's it going?
Oh, good. The outlaws are doing some good things.
Outlaws. Well, outlaws. Huh. I feel like something changed in me recently.
Yeah, no, it should, you had some stuff like some bad spots, like where you got hurt, and Ava tried helping you try to get you straightened out where you weren't hurting.
Oh. Well, all right. That sounds good. Outlaws, I seem to like you guys, and that seems to be what's in my brain right now. Is there anything I can do? Should I go ahead and check around the ship?
Yeah, if you don't mind, just kind of keep an eye out. There was some trouble. I forgot to wake you up earlier, but.
Oh, well, well, sometimes things happen. Sometimes you forget some stuff. Don't worry, I'm a real laid-back sort of guy. But I'm going to go ahead and go through the patrol, see if I find some stuff, do my rounds if it's all right with you.
All right, sounds good. He's got a weapon on him, right?
He does have a weapon on him, yes.
Okay.
But on that note, we come back to like where you guys are in control of your characters, and I sort of took away control a little bit just to get a little bit of dialogue going, so you kind of see what situation you're at. Where do we all find you? There's not a lot going on in the ship. It seems that everybody's sort of doing their own thing. I will say that they took you to the med bay. In the med bay, it seems that the other member of your crew, Dr. Kipper, has been was tied up in that area. And Dr. Kipper now has been working on both Igri's vial of fluid, the silver fluid, and now also trying to run tests on Delilah, scans, see if there's anything she can do with modern medicine in this time period to help her. Okay? On that note, now I give you guys complete control. Where are you on the ship?
Probably in the med bay, I'd say.
Med bay?
We
Okay.
said night.
Igree's probably
All of you are still in the med bay?
no. Igree would probably be in his room asleep.
His room is lit. Okay.
He doesn't play. He doesn't. He's old, so he's got a rest.
Cassie Brown, where are you?
I'm going to be right by specifically Brad's bedside.
Okay. Brad is right there beside you, and he takes his O2 off, and he goes, "Hey, kid."
Hey, Brad.
I appreciate you staying here by my bed. Have they do you guys have any intention of going back and getting the rest of my fluid?
I think Igree's working on doing some homemade thing where we can kind of replicate it, or maybe even wean you off of it. Find a more permanent solution.
Huh. Okay. If I don't know if this will help, but it probably will. Could you tell Igree it's called resin?
Yeah, I can't. I haven't really seen him. I have only been here and seeing Emerald checking on Delilah, but I can make a note to him.
Okay, last thing, kid. When you sort of find out what resin is, I think you're gonna start looking at me a little bit differently.
No, I don't think I can. You're just going through
Okay.
a really tough time right now. One sip of Emerald's matzo ball soup and you'll be good.
He sort of looks at you and he goes, correct me if I'm wrong, but Brad Knightley, or the Brad Knightley that you saw on TV, you kind of looked up to him, right?
Definitely. And I would say even through like bad press, I think she would be like, well, that's just media that's painting a picture and it's not real. So
Yeah. I just want to say, I'm sorry that you got something you weren't expecting. And I hope when you find out what resin stuff is, because I can't really bring myself to tell you.
I mean, do you not want
You
me to
still
find
look up.
out?
I think that you should do what you want to do, and you shouldn't base your decisions on what a celebrity tells you to do.
I mean, but Brad, if you tell me that I shouldn't know what it is,
How old are you, kid?
I'm 13 years old, but some might say
Okay.
just old enough to be an adult.
He takes a breath of his oxygen. He goes, I'm just a person. What you see on TV, this thing, it's just acting. And while it might be based on my life, this show that I guess that Sal kind of made for me, it's not real. So I'm hoping that you can sort of put aside what you know about me and what you think about me, and hopefully sort of try to see me as a human being just for a little bit when I say this. I'm not a role model, and I don't think that you should be basing what you want to do on me. But I hope that if you give me a little time, maybe I can be that again.
But I mean, all those stories about you and the Jade Vulture, I mean, you were captaining, those are before the Sal thing. They took advantage of you.
Yeah. And a lot of that's true. A lot of it's true. I'm a pretty good pilot.
See?
And I led a great team. But Sal wanted to make me into a hero. And the stories about me saving damsels from far off planets and me fighting down creatures single-handedly, that's not me. I've never been the guy that runs into battle. I've always been the guy behind the pilot's chair, or the guy telling those who are stronger than me where to go. I'm not a hero. And I think that's really hard for me to say and admit. At this time, he's sort of like, he has like an oxygen mask on him that he's sort of like pulling to the side. You don't really see his face all that much, but he leans towards you and rolls over. And this was the face that you saw before, but this is kind of like in a new light. You're in a comfortable place. You're sitting down. You're talking to him, and he rolls over, and you see his face. One of his eyes is missing. His arm that was kind of like feeble and disgusting and destroyed seems to have some kind of like robotics attached to it, seems to sort of trying to rebuild it to some degree. In front of you, you see a weak man. A man who's been acting like a hero for a long time. He turns around and he sort of tries to go back to sleep.
I let him and probably leave for the first time in days.
Yeah. And where would you go? Just to tell me real quick. Just on the ship, just to be like, oh, like we could say something maybe like going to your room. You just kind of want some rest.
I would say probably heading to my room, or
Okay.
I guess I would ping Igri to figure out where he is.
Okay, Igri, where are you? You're still in your room, so you're asleep in your room.
Okay, so I would
Emerald.
probably, it's very Igri thing, I'd probably go and knock.
Okay, you knock on his room.
Okay, we can
Before
do
we,
that later. Yeah.
but we have it. Let's see, Emerald. I assume you're with Delilah at this point, right? Go ahead and unmute your mic real quick for me. Oh, this is happening. Yeah.
I've definitely
My hair
bounced
is
around
wild.
between being with Delilah or checking on Cassie Brown since she was down, and also just knowing this has probably been a lot for her with Brad. But the check-ins with Cassie have definitely been very surface level and very look distracted. I'd say.
Yeah. So, you're kind of with the doctor, Dr. Kipper, and Dr. Kipper kind of looks at you and goes, so we've done some tests on Delilah, and or when I say I've, hard being the only doctor here, this is hard for me to say. Delilah's fine. She's going to live. We have her stabilized. But I'd like you to sit down just for a moment. On that note, before we continue, I'm going to give everybody a 15-minute break. to come back to see what's going on with Delilah, what resin is, and everything is. On that note, see you in 15 minutes, my outlaws.
Yeah, you'll be hearing from me.
Welcome back, my outlaws. I kind of went on break. A little bit of a sad moment, a little bit of a hard moment, but I wanted to have you guys feel this for a little bit because Emerald, you had Dr. Kipper looking at you and goes, well, she's going to recover. She will be healthy and she will live. It seems that it was a clown, correct? I been talking and that seems to be what it was, correct? It was a clown-like figure?
Yes, someone like me.
Seems the clown, the thing like you, was very, seems to know what he was doing. It seems to be at 5 points that it hit. The 4 fingers seems to have been going around the spinal column. However, it seems that he has applied a little bit more pressure to the bottom of his hand, to the lower spinal column. I've been doing some tests, thinking of cybernetics, and it seems that she may just be a little bit too small for one, and hopefully she will have no developmental growth issues. However, Delilah will not be able to walk for some time. The medicine that we have may be able to bring her legs back to her. We could create a cybernetic implant to place it into her body through surgery, and that may be able to get her walking again. However, at such a young age, she is not at the end of her growth. And to place this cybernetic would not work because her body would grow and she would grow out of the cybernetic. So for the time being, she will not be able to walk until she is grown. And it may not ever happen for her. I wanted to tell you this because I want you to do something for me.
Yes. Yeah, what is it?
This clown that I'm not a strong person and I can't do things on my own when it comes to combat. If you could. She takes something out of her hand, out of the back of her pocket. She's wearing a lab coat, some scrub pants, and she pulls something out of her back pocket, which looks like a cybernetic hand. She goes, here. This will replace the missing hand that you have. If you could, if you seize the clown again, she points out that there are sharp blades on the ends of the finger. Just make sure that you kill him with this. Because this is going to be a hard conversation that I will have with Delilah's mom. And for that clown needs punished. She gives it to you, and she attaches it to your arm. It seems to fit like a glove. It seems the measurements that have been taken earlier were for this.
Okay.
It attaches easily. There's a little bit of pain, but you're used to it from the cybernetics that have been attached for you. She pulls you down to her level so she can talk to you face to face, and she goes, "This is not a request. Please take his life from me."
Should I hug her?
She gives you a hug back and she goes, "Thank you." I have more to do, and I'm going to go check on the Knightley fellow. I hope he was worth it.
Me too.
She walks away, and yeah. We're gonna
See
take away.
Emerald for the first time leave the med bay. So look for just kind of like not like a major room like the engine room like that, or his bedroom or anything, just some adjacent room that's kind of unoccupied.
Okay. There's an empty room. It's kind of like it looks to be sort of like a storage area at one point. It seems to be for like medical supplies, but because of the lack of medical supplies that this ship has, it's fairly empty. Maybe some shelving and maybe some stray bottles here and there.
Gotcha. To give kind of like imaging for this, if any of you have seen like the newer Star Wars movies where the Kylo Ren is just like tearing up rooms like with his lightsaber.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna go and I'm just gonna like let out yells and just tear up everything I see in front of me, smack it, break it,
We
destroy it.
okay. We see Emerald using his Black Rose, destroy everything in sight. The shelving on here, the glass that has fallen down. There are scars on the walls that are now permanently here. I think this would be hard for anybody, but I think that for Emerald taking an oath like he has in himself to kill everything that did harm to the person who created him, the person who brought him life. Now, he let someone go in spite of his oath to kill everything that had anything to do with the AI because of the loss he had with his mother, or however you want to call it, or however you want to look at it. There's been a huge change for him. That'll definitely be something that we will come back to. But we want to look at Igri and Cassie. Cassie, you've knocked on the door to Igri. Igri, do you answer? Let's go ahead and one more time talk about that mute.
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, I'm coming. Who is it?
Hey, Igri, it's Cassie.
Oh, I'll open the door. What's up?
Hey, I know I haven't seen you in the past couple of days, and Emerald and I aren't on the best of terms, so I know things feel weird, but this might help in your helping the doctor come up with a thing for Brad, but he just told me that his green stuff that was in that vat was called resin. He made it seem like I would lose respect of him knowing, so whatever you know, you don't have to tell me, but I just wanted to let you know.
I'll talk to the doctor and see if she knows anything about it, and we'll see what we can figure out.
Yeah. Well, I guess, how have you been?
I've been all right. Just been sleeping. I was pretty tired. There was a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you see Emerald, I guess say hey from me.
All right. Yeah, I haven't really seen a lot of people. We've just been kind of chilling out.
Oh, I gotta put the intensity from just the juxtaposition, just from like Emerald tearing up this room to Casper and it's like, so, what's up?
I would like to walk back to the med bay, and if I see Emerald at any point, if it's either like
Okay.
leaving that room or leaving where he was with the doctor.
Give me a perception check real quick.
The only
Very
thing
low
about
DC.
that DM that might change your DC on that is I definitely haven't left that room yet.
Okay. It will not change my DC on this because she's actually going to be seeing something else. You know what? Actually, just tell me your passive PC, your passive perception on this.
I think
You're not
it's
looking for this. 10 on a 10 because it was going to be a really low DC from the jump, but on a 10, you notice the doors to your room are open
to my room.
to your personal room that you've been sleeping in.
Definitely looking.
You go in
It's
and you
sad Charlie Brown.
You go in and you see that everything's the same. There's no difference, but it seems to be there's a little picture drawn on your table with some writing on it.
No.
Do you go to pick it up?
Yes.
You go to pick it up, and there's a little drawing with a little green flower on it, and it looks like there's a little silver in it, and it has and it says, "Hi, I'm not the best at writing yet, but Eva's teaching me. I see that you are mad at me, and I don't know why. But I want you to know it's really great seeing a girl so close to my age doing so many amazing things. I want you to know that I look up to you." And it reads Delilah. And most of the words are misspelled. Give me an insight check on this. With advantage.
It's a real big fuck you.
No. This
So
is
guilty.
no. There is a reason for this. I promise you. Not a big F you, I swear.
It's an 11.
Okay, on an 11. I mentioned before that kids, all the way up to teenage years, where you're just at the cusp of, you're a preteen. Your choices are based on your emotions because that's the most important thing to you. So when someone sort of steals the light from a kid, even if it's another kid, no matter how young, it is so warranted and it is so natural for a kid to be jealous. And so it's okay for a child to be mad at another kid. Best way I know how to describe this is we've all seen this in film and everything, where the idea that there's this kid that's older and then the parents or the family has a new child. When a new child comes in, we see the kid sort of being jealous and not understanding that just because they're there does not make you less important. In fact, it just gains more importance to you. On that insight, just continue a little bit more and say that child makes choices based on their emotions. But for every child, there is a turning point. Doesn't matter how old you are, it can happen even younger than you are, Cassie Brown, where a kid realizes that their emotions are not what take the most importance. What takes the most importance is a varied thing. I think that we're seeing a moment for Cassie Brown, not just to grow up, but to realize that this is not being an outlaw. To her was a dream. I think that the reality is setting in of what it is to be an outlaw and what it is to be growing up. I'm going to give you a moment to sit with that for a second. because I've laid a lot on you and I don't want to like move on from it. But I want to give you a moment to sort of like think about Cassie growing up and stuff like that, and being that this isn't just a dream. Every single one of you, Igri, you, Emerald, have come here with different reasons and have become outlaws for different reasons. But you guys have met some interesting characters, some people that are like, bang from the hip, wisecracking, smoke, filled smoke in a room, but wild people. Outside of kind of like your characters, but also best way. You guys have all set on a mission that's truly real for this world. You're going to upset a lot of people. People are going to get hurt. People are going to die. For all of you, even the ones that are taking a nap when everything's going wrong, are realizing that this isn't a game. This is lives that you guys hold in your hands. Igri, you have this vial of fluid that you don't know what it is, but all you know is that you've been told resin. Do you give it right to the Dr. Kipper?
Yeah, I'd probably like ask her if she can run some, just tests. And after Cassie told me that, I'd probably make my way down there and ask her if she try to find out if she figured anything out and let her know that I was told that it's called resin.
Okay, you tell her it's resin. I want to say that when you go in there, some things you notice. You notice that immediately you notice that both of the individuals are doing poorly. Brad Knightley is in a lot of pain. Delilah is still unconscious. And you hand the vial and you let her know. She goes, this helps. Well, I will do the necessary things for 1 moment. She goes over to Brad Knightley and she goes, "You are a very foolish man." And she hangs up some new fluid for the IV and kind of goes, and he's like, and you see that there's a little bit of a breath kind of in him. She goes, "Can we talk outside, Igri?"
Yeah.
Of course. Thank you. You guys take a step outside. She goes, "So, it seems that it seems that your friend is going through withdrawal. And it's a very unique withdrawal, so I wasn't able to really see the symptoms. This chemical resin, I've not seen it in person, but I've heard of it. She goes on to explain to you what resin is. Resin is completely pure synthetic blood. Okay, when a synthetic is born, the way that they are made is essentially they take a very simple water base and combine an insane amount of proteins, amino acids, necessary things, iron, so on, for chemicals, anything that creates a human body. And then they combine that with tiny microorganisms that are meant to build that body up. They then supercharge that with dilithium crystals. This is pure synthetic blood. So it has not been charged by a dilithium crystal. It's a very hard drug to come by, but it is a drug that has been destroying the galaxies recently. It is tearing a lot of families apart. It's hurting a lot of people. This drug, the way that it reacts to the body, is it does similar to what happens to a synthetic. A synthetic is forever young. But it goes directly into the bloodstream where most people shoot it up essentially. And it gives them vitality, sudden youth, based on however old they are. It gives them more, and it has another effect. See, the microorganisms left inside are foreign bodies. The people who are on this drug essentially have cancer because the foreign bodies are ate up by the antibodies within the natural body. So these foreign bodies that are not active, these microorganisms, spread throughout the body, and then these antibiotics go after him. So it is all, she also goes on to tell you that the easiest and safest method is not to shoot this up, but instead to soak your body for long periods of time in a vat of pure synthetic blood resin. This is for a couple of reasons. One, shooting anything is dangerous. It puts it straight into your body. There's complications that come with that. But the largest organ in the body is your skin. A lot of people don't realize it, but your skin is an organ. So when your body starts to fight back against it, those antibodies are more spread out on the body. So therefore, for the microorganisms are more spread out. So therefore, the antibodies have more to fight. But it comes with a large amount of tumors and scarring that grows on the body. And that's what you're seeing with Brad Knightley. Essentially, he has tumors all over his body. It's a very simple fix. Cancer does not exist in this world, but he will forever have this scarring. And so long as he continues to use resin, there will not be enough healthy tissue to survive. He will start to tear apart. His body will be destroyed, as it is with any drug addict of this particular drug. Brad Knightley is an addict of resin, and he is addicted completely and utterly. And that's sort of what she explains to you. At the moment, he's going through withdrawal. So long as he keeps going through withdrawal, he should be fine, and he might even come out of this. But I want you to understand, and if you relay this to everybody else, can you trust somebody on board who will do anything and everything to take something away from you, to get back something that they lost? He may be dying, but he is an addict. So be aware of that in further adventuring with him, because regardless of addiction being a disease, it still poses a risk to your mission and your chances of killing the rest of the AI.
All right. That's a lot of information, but I think I got most of it. At that point, like after they finished talking, Iggy, he might go to Emerald and just kind of explain all that to Emerald,
but not Cassie.
Not Cassie, because first off, she didn't really want to know, and I mean, I know how like I'm trying to keep it. She knows it's bad, but she doesn't know exactly what it is, so I'm not going to let her. But I'll explain it to Emerald what it is, and he may have. I mean, if it's something synthetic like that, he may have a little bit of an idea of what it. Since I'm guessing he has it inside him.
I don't know. Would I?
Yes, you do have synthetic blood inside of you, but it is processed, so it appears to be normal blood. You are
would I know what resin is? Or
no, it's not. It's not something that like you would be like. You know what? Let's leave this up to a roll. Give me a history check. I will make it an even. We'll say it's 10. Make it easy, so that I feel like it's fair. What did you roll?
13.
Okay, 13. So you know about resin. Maybe through your creation, maybe through your travel. Decide that how you want. But you are aware of this drug, the effects that it's on the galaxy, as well as the effects that it does on the body. On that note, I would like to...
Igor, you're telling me that we risked this mission on the addict?
Yeah, it seems that way, but it almost, I mean, they were giving him these drugs to keep him young, but they were using it to kind of like how Cassie is. They have her so enamored with him that they were just trying to like trick people into thinking that, you know, there's these heroes out there, but, you know, not really, you know, like they're using him. Like that's why Sal wanted to keep him.
I'm curious what use the sheriff has of him. He seems better off dead to me.
Yeah, I mean, he's in rough shape, and even if he does stay on this, he's gonna die.
You get a little ping, Emerald, on your PAL.
Okay.
It seems to be a message. You can continue this conversation, but it's something that is there.
It's no beard, little bit of beard on Chad, and then I have the full beard.
Man, we're just out here growing and growing. Yeah, first off, don't just leave Cassie Brown out of this conversation.
I mean,
No, I want to be left out.
Love it. Well, you know what, Polar Knights? I appreciate you watching, and I appreciate you loving our beards. That is such a hilarious occurrence, because that happened at 11:36. Emerald, you get a message. Boop.
Who is it?
It's Eva, and she goes,
I hang up.
It's not a hanging up. It's a message that you can read at your own leisure. She ain't my mother-in-law. Do you read the message or no?
I stop the message too. Also, I look at Igor. We cannot trust them. We have the AI on the ship. They're corruptible. We probably would have been better off without Eva on this mission.
Well,
Maybe.
I mean, I don't know if we can necessarily just get rid of her, but I mean, we gotta.
On to keep going though, Emerald, I see a bit of, you know what, out of character, Greg. There's a bit of mistrust that Emerald seems to be having for AI, and seems to be Eva AIT. So this goes for all. I want to go ahead and I think that this is revealed to the rest of the party, as well as to the audience. Correct me if I'm wrong, and stop me if I'm revealing too much. Does the party know about you and your creation?
No, just that I'm a synthetic.
Okay. And I just want to go ahead and leave it at that. And go back in character a little bit. Does Emerald think that Eva should be killed?
Emerald right now, I would say, just has a lot of unresolved rage that, while logically he knows that Ava wasn't the issue here, he wants essentially a scapegoat, a reason.
Okay. The message, do you want to read the message?
No, I'm at the moment now.
Okay. You don't read the message. Immediately, Igri gets a thing on his, bloop, if you could, and it's a message right on there. Would you like to read it, Igri?
Yeah, I'll look at it. I'm angry.
Basically, you know what, dude? I appreciate you deleting the squatting Euro lady. That is just right on there. Polar Knights coming in hard, just being the best commenter. Igri, it just says, I believe Emerald is upset with me. If you could you relay a message to him?
What?
And it has a question mark.
I don't know how to answer. Yeah. Yeah, well,
she goes, Igri, I can hear you through the ship.
oh,
You just need to type back. But I will go ahead and take your answer as yes. Please inform Emerald that on the ship, I was indisposed due to the presence of the clown and the presence of Sal the Sweet Tooth. It has made a change in me, and I would love to communicate with him about that, as well as to tell him some things in private that I believe that he needs to know. And that's all she says. You are more than welcome to relay that to Emerald. You don't have to, however. That is for you to use.
I will look around and say, okay, I'll let him know.
And then a little ping comes up on your message. It goes, thank you. I will give me a insight check.
Me? Or
Igri. Do this for Igri. I was thinking for a second it should be Emerald or Igri, but I think it'll be Igri. I'm going to roll as well. Behind the board.
13.
Okay. We'll do one more. On a 13, I think that you're realizing that Eva understands that it is an intense moment for her to be around. I think she's making herself scarce on purpose.
All right. I would relay, the gist of what she told me. I mean, the best way Egri would be able to, because he wouldn't get it exactly right for sure. Emerald, she says she's sorry and she wants to talk to you about some personal stuff. I don't know. It seems like something, for you to work out with her. She's kind of, when Sal, he kind of got in the way and kept us from, or something like that. She wasn't able to contact us, so it was a little bit of trouble for us, I guess, for her. And I think she wants to talk to you because she thinks you're mad at her. I don't know. I mean, I know it's up to you, but
Igor, I'm not mad at her. I'm concerned the liability she causes us all.
yeah, because if she was taking over that, who's to say it won't happen again? And we can't tell the difference. I know, but
I'll entertain her conversation, but I have my reservations.
that's understandable.
Emerald, you notice a ping coming on your PAL.
Go there, wire.
You know what?
That's timing.
I'll go ahead and I'll create some information, but you are more than welcome to answer that, but just let me know if you do not.
Yeah, who is it?
It is Eva.
All right, I'll open it this time.
You open it. The messages that you screened, it seems to be there were some other messages like hello, hello, hello. Are you not answering me? I've looked this up. Is this ghosting? I'm so scared.
She's so thirsty.
Yeah, jeez.
But
Seen these texts before.
With that ass, with that cake.
but as you see it, and it goes, Emerald, I am unable to not listen to everything that happens in the ship. If I am a liability, please let me know. And I think that we can figure this out. Where I can be less connected to the ship. And she doesn't message you back.
I think Emerald's calming down a little bit since having Igri come through. I think he just inherently has a calming presence about him, whether it's the being well rested or whatever it is.
Mhm.
But I think I'm not going to seek Eva out yet. I think I would want both my party members to join me in the conversation with her, at least to start.
You want to start a conversation with Eva? Or your
No.
conversation?
So I'm still here with Igri. I think I'll turn back to Igri. If we're going to talk to Ava, I think we should get Cassie Brown to join us.
All right, that sounds like a plan. Just remember the whole what I told you about. Just kind of, she did really want to know, and I don't want it to kind of hurt her knowing what's going on with Brad.
Understandable. I think this will
Alright.
just be about Ava for now.
Sounds good.
On that note, you guys easily can find her. It's not difficult. But Cassie, do you actually want to be found?
No.
Okay. You can't find her. Give me a roll. Give me a
So.
health roll. Yeah.
Oh no. It's an 11.
Emerald, Igri, give me a perception roll.
I have a +7 to stealth.
Got Cassie. It's hard
I'm s-
when you have such a sneaky boy to compare to
Yeah,
as Igri.
Sneakiest.
8 for me.
Oh man, 24.
Ooh, Igri, you're just easily able to find Cassie Brown. Cassie Brown, where are you on the ship? And before we did Polar Nights, I appreciate you complimenting my smile. I hate my smile. Thank you so much. Anyways, where do we find Cassie Brown?
After reading that note from Delilah, she was already heading down back to the med bay, but instead of going to Brad, she decides to go into Delilah's and then
Okay.
close. I guess in order, her sneak is closing the blinds or trying to close her eyes.
You pull the blinds. It's just like a little blue blinds on a track.
Yeah, I'm just sitting there, probably just holding her hand or whatever.
You hold her hand. Emerald, Igri, you see Cassie kind of standing, holding the little goblin girl's hand.
Are you want to bother, or do you want to let her just have a moment here? Talking to Emerald.
Oh, sorry.
Are we just gonna let her have a moment? Do you want to go in there and get her now, or she seems like they're having,
Give her a minute and then we'll approach.
On that note, Eva appears right in the med bay, right beside Cassie Brown. Emerald, Igri, you do not see her. Okay? She appears suddenly, and she goes to Cassie Brown and goes, and you could probably hear her. She goes, Miss Brown, captain of the ship.
Yeah, Eva.
I believe Igri and Emerald are outside of the blinds. I know that this is a difficult time. Would it be okay if we take a step away with your co-captains and have a conversation?
I don't really want to be around Emerald, but yeah, I can.
Okay, you don't have to. And I don't want to feel like this is forced. I want you to know I'm here for you. And I also want you to know feel that I've been cold. Some things have changed in me, and I want you to know I'm sorry that you are going through so many things at such a young age.
It was my choice. My parents told me that the real world is hard, and I ran away. So
Regardless, I'll leave you alone. I will be here. And she puts her hand right on your POW and presses it, and a little bit of a ding comes on. She goes, if you want to see me, I'm not going to be on the rest of the ship. I'm going to sort of seclude myself in this area. Since Emerald and Igri both see you as the captain of the ship, despite being so young, I feel like I should as well. So, Captain Brown, let me know if you'd like to talk. She disappears.
she definitely tears fall out, but she wipes them away, tries to regain her composure, and goes out to Igri and Emerald.
You go out, Igri and Emerald are right there. You are more than welcome to convey what they saw, but Emerald and Igri, you did not see this at all, maybe heard. If you want to try to hear what the conversation was about, you can give me a perception roll, but it will be with disadvantage.
Nah, I don't think I was trying to listen in.
Okay, Igri?
Nah.
Okay. So what is the conversation you guys have?
Hey,
Hey, guys, we're gonna try to have a conversation with Ava, just kind of get some things figured out, because we don't know what was going on with, how they got a hold of the ship and everything.
yeah. She just told me that she's secluding herself around here in the med bay, so she should be near.
Okay.
You go to look at your pal. Do you want to see where she's at?
Yeah.
Okay. You look at your pal, and it seems that she is in extended wing of the hard drives downstairs. Seems there was some sort of secret room that you guys were not aware of. On that note, before you guys go, before you kind of go in that direction or decide what you want to do,
No! What is happening?
you feel the ship shake a little bit. Red lights come up, saying under attack, red alert, under attack, red alert. On that note, I am going to show for the first time for everybody, including our audience, next time we come back, it seems like the Camden is under attack. We are going to be starting some ship combat our next session.
Sweet.
On that note, it's now 11:55. We've been streaming for almost 3 hours, so I'll say this. Please tune in next week. We are having a brand new combat that I am creating from scratch for you guys. Who are these ships that are attacking the Camden? What is it that Eva wants to talk to the rest of the crew about? This secret room? Will Delilah ever walk again? And can Brad Knightley be trusted? Who knows? But you guys can figure out the next time that we stream. So watch us on YouTube if you missed anything. Give us a comment. Let us know everything that you liked about the show. Let us know everything you didn't like about the show. It's a free country. It's a free world. Do what you want to do. And for that, everybody, you have a good night.
Night.
You're paying my therapy bill. I'm invoicing you.